All right, we are live, everybody. Welcome back to Knuckles Family and Friend podcast on this wonderful Marvel Friday. You know what that means? Some Marvel right now. And last week, well, 2 weeks ago, I said to you guys that we're not gonna be able to do next episode because of New York Comic Con, which was great, by the way. Rachel and I were reunited once again, and it felt so good. I'm gonna say this once again. I said this 1,000 times. I don't give a fuck if you agree with me or not. She had the best Scarlet Witch cosplay at the convention. I
Mm.
don't care what anyone has to say about it. I don't care what your mama says, your dad says, your sister says, your grandma says. I don't give a fuck. She had the best one, hands down. And I'm just saying that, guys, as a
Thank you,
friend,
thank you.
but it was amazing. First of all, I saw the reaction. Everyone was like, I was like, shit, you gotta take a picture of her. I ain't shit. I ain't shit right now.
Yeah, sorry.
She's
We had to keep stopping because I was just getting stopped for so many photo shoots. Like, oh man, so sorry.
God, I'm so popular right now. I'm so popular right now. And that was the most that was the cosplay that you saw the most. Like you go back to 2016, it was Harley Quinn's because of the Suicide Squad and Deadpool because of the Deadpool movie. This one, I already predicted it was gonna be a bunch of Scarlet Witches out there. And there were plenty of them. I'm not gonna lie, even the one girl they got a picture with that she was in her regular clothes when she had the robot blood on her, she
Hmm.
was good too, actually. She was really good on that one.
Yeah, a lot of
Like,
people are. I mean, the people who aren't as creative and stuff, they do what they can, but a lot of people go online and they buy like the basic like cosplay outfits that are available on like Sim Cosplay or Cosguy and stuff. So that's the one you see usually everyone wearing.
pretty much. But no, yours was just bowed. I should have just bowed down to you when I was over there. But like, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. It was just amazing. You were in an article, but you were in a picture. You should explain that.
Yeah, Insider basically found this dude's photo. I forget his name unless I look at my phone from Getty Images, but like they used it as the Wanda like thumbnail for like Wanda Scarlet Witch was super popular this year, and that was like the best cosplays. It was like me and I forget his real name, but I know his Instagram handle, SX, who did like the male like Scarlet Witch version, and his was like
Mm.
really good.
This was really good.
Um, yeah, he put like a lot of work into it. It was really nice. And it was a picture of me and him as the thumbnail for like the Wanda Scarlet Witch section. So yeah.
Nice.
So as I said, best Scarlet Witch cosplay. I said it. Ain't taking it back, so fuck all y'all. No, it was dope. I had a lot of fun. I'm still sad that it's over right now. The con depression is real, folks. The shit, con depression is real.
To me,
And
it's
I'm just
relaxing because it's like, yay, con season is over, and I could finally just like take a breath and be like, I don't have to work on anything. I don't need to finish anything. I could just go back to playing video games and being a couch potato.
babe, when we see all those
Nice.
pictures though, it just feels so rewarding right there though.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
It's
very, very
it's nice and rewarding.
yes. And how long have you worked on it before? It was like a very, very long
Oh god.
time.
Yeah, sporadically on and off for like months.
So did you start
Oh
right
man.
after WandaVision was over, or like the Multiverse of
Well,
Madness started?
no, I started with like her normal Wanda outfit literally like after the finale. I just immediately started buying stuff. But then it ended up getting being harder than what I thought it would be in my head because stuff wasn't going correctly. So it took a lot longer. And in the end, it's like I finally finished it like a year later, but like it's not the comfiest and it's not the most functional and it looks kind of crap. So I would never wear it to a con because it would just like fall apart as I'm wearing it probably. Um, but then once I started seeing all her Multiverse of Madness stuff come out, I was like, I need that outfit. So
Mhm.
that's when I was like, okay, I learned my lesson from the first time. I'm shit at sewing. So let me just buy like the base cosplay outfit of her dress part and then rip off all the sewn on details and just I'm good at like EVA foam stuff and crafty bits, but not sewing. So I just made all of the stuff on her dress and then I made the crown myself and I was like, done.
Nice.
So
Because sewing
Eric,
is a bitch.
oh yeah, I don't sew. So Eric, I think next year you got to go to New York Comic Con.
Yeah, yeah.
Just let me know, and me and Rachel we get the tickets before we get the preview ticket. We get the early access
Oh,
because
okay. Yeah, definitely.
we're VIPs.
Oh, nice.
we're,
we
Oh,
we're
get
yeah,
veterans.
yeah. You
We're
know.
veterans. We got the canes. We're like,
we
we've been coming here since.
Yeah, that was my seventh. That was my seventh New York Comic Con. That was honestly the best one I've been in terms of friends, meeting new people. Like this was a lot of fun. Like celebrity wise, there really was a whole lot of celebrities I really wanted to see, but like just interaction, people that I know that were gonna be there and meeting new people. This had to be like my favorite one so far.
I think it's been good because everyone's like finally like the people who didn't go last year because they were still nervous about the COVID situation. It's like
Hmm.
a lot of people came back as their first time back this year. So it was just a lot of good vibes of people just being happy to come back and all that stuff.
Yeah, and honestly, the people that I got a picture with, pretty much almost everyone was happy to take a picture because you ask me where it's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll get a picture of you. I'm like, well, why are you in your costume? Like, I
Yeah.
understand that people can be tired and it would be like, don't take a picture, but like, no, everyone I will talk to was like very nice, extremely happy to get a picture with me. Like it was great. I mean, you could have weird people that's like, the rich be like, hey, can I get a video of you guys eating?
Oh god, that guy was so weird. Uh, we were just eating, and like like as cosplayers, it's like probably the most annoying thing is when like you're in the middle of eating food, like you're exhausted, and then like someone comes up to you and is like, "Can I take a picture?" And you're just like, "Dude, I'm in the middle of like eating food and I have crap all over my face." Like, no. But this guy came over. It was like, "Can I get a photo or like a video?" And we're like, we're eating," and he's like, "Yeah, that's okay." And we're like, "What?" And then he just wanted a picture of us literally sitting there eating, and I'm like, okay.
He was happy. You made his day. He was like,
Oh yeah.
I was saying, y'all eating the food.
I
My
was just
man
so
had like an eating
confused.
fetish. He was like,
Yeah,
"Oh yeah, that's what I want."
I
yeah.
guess. I
He
don't
was like, "I
know.
was waiting for you to start eating."
I was
Well,
saying, I was like, at that point though, like I'd rather be ignorant of it and you just like take the picture without me noticing because like I don't want to know that. Like that's weird.
he was like, what that mouth do though? What that mouth do?
The
Yes,
best
as I
part
eat
is,
my beef rice bowl. Like, yeah,
yeah,
so
the best part
attractive.
is that you knew. He was like, "I want to make sure she knows."
That's
So
If
weird.
honestly, if you're gonna record it, don't say just show your phone recording everything. Don't go ahead and be like, hey, can I like record you eating? Because that's on right there.
I mean, if you give me like $10.
$10. But overall, it was a lot of fun. I can't say nothing more about it. They say it. So like I said, Rage had the best Scarlet Witch cosplay. I'm gonna keep saying it to the day I die. So just saying, just saying. So yeah, so like so, hope you guys enjoyed that brief New York Comic Con. So we're gonna get to our main topic right here, and it's the finale of show. Which do you guys want to touch base on episode 8 a little bit, or do you want to go straight to this wonderful finale? I mean, we could touch base on episode 8 a little bit. The Daredevil episode finally.
oh yeah.
He was obviously the best part of that episode, and he came into California, smashed She-Hulk, took the walk of shame. And what's funny is that we did see a guy that was Matt Murdock. We both said to him, take your walk of shame. He was like, I haven't seen the episode yet.
Yeah, that was funny. And that wasn't
Yeah.
a walk of shame. That was like a strut of pride. That was like
Yeah.
that was a strut. That was like, yeah, sup.
I was like, do men have a walk of shame? We're pretty, we're pretty shameless. So I
I
was
mean,
like,
I don't have a walk of shame. I just be like, yeah, I did my thing.
yeah, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, unless it went horribly, but like, I don't know.
If the way how they showed it right there was like he's like in this walk of shame. But no, I did my job. I did my thing. You know what I'm
No, I
saying?
feel like that was a walk of comfort. He had his shoes off and everything. So
That's
Yeah.
all of us coming home from a con. Shoes off
Exactly.
in hand, walking barefoot.
yep.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. You walk barefoot. Yep, you walk barefoot right. That was funny. And then we saw at the end of the episode, where she accepted her award, and the sex tape got leaked or whatever. Or I don't know what you call it, sex tape. But, the inappropriate things got leaked out. She got angry. It was, oh, you're a bad person, blah blah blah. And yeah, episode 8. Can I say more about episode 8? Oh, the froggy dude or whatever that's or whatever.
Meh.
Like
Well, I
the
will
Mhm.
say I was happy that some type of legal litigation happened.
yeah,
We were in the courtroom,
I was just about to say that. I was
so
just about to say that.
and then they actually had legal speak back and forth, and I was like, "Oh man, this is kind of awesome." And then it was just like done.
I think it's silly though. Like the one thing that bugs me about it was like this whole show. They write her to be like a really crappy lawyer. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
like Matt
yeah.
comes in and like schools her, which he should, because I mean he's Matt. But like
Suns
not,
her.
but like not that easily. Like it should have been a nice back and forth. Like she lost that whole argument simply because she didn't do her proper job of like properly vetting her client and asking him like the basic questions of what happened in the situation.
yes,
Like, isn't that like lawyer 101? Like,
I'm
pretty
sure
much.
it
That's why I was
is.
just like,
like
mm,
it's
yeah,
like so far in her own show about being a lawyer, she's been out lawyered by like two other characters. So it's like,
yeah,
It's like, are you doing your job precisely? Like,
yeah.
how many?
That's what I know.
She only won like. It seems like she only won like one case. It seems like
Did she win a case?
the only thing with Abomination,
Oh, okay, yeah, the abomination one.
and I guess the fake magician dude.
yeah,
I,
I guess.
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know, but honestly, no, that much. Like it's like what Eric has been preaching about this almost in every week. Like the title, it's not made by the title. The title has been not the title's still all lie. The title says it's a sham. It's a lie.
I'm just saying they could have easily have named the show She-Hulk and done everything they're doing now. But when you name it Attorney at Law, I'm expecting to see some law and attorney,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Like it was just it was just chaos. It was
It
just
was
utter
chaos.
chaos.
Well, the finale was chaotic too.
Yeah.
That made me laugh though. Like, and if anything, it made me angry that like they saved, of course, the like cool twist at the end of her coming out and like the hilarious seeing like Kevin be an AI and like a camera thing that she's talking to. Um, that actually made me laugh, but then it made me annoyed because I'm like, okay, if they could go this far with her like breaking the fourth wall and like doing stunts like that, like they should have done a little bit more creative things like that throughout the
Yes.
show to
Yeah.
make it a bigger payoff other than besides just like little couple sentences here or there aimed at the camera. Um,
I mean, that was
like
honestly
I
the
think,
best fourth wall break she's done.
Agreed.
but I think like a funny thing that I thought like would have been funny of like a little bit more like breaking things of like when she's on those dates in the beginning with all those like crappy dudes and she's like getting bored in the conversations and stuff. Um, if like she kind of just like turned over, she's like, okay, I've had enough of this, and she like reaches over and like presses the like 10-second like skip forward button and like fast forward, like I don't know, just like little things like that that were more creative. I feel like would have been interesting, or like her doing more little commentary bits about being self-aware, more self-aware about her show than like the little quips that she's had. Like I don't know, like that ending was like her calling out all of like the Marvel tropes or superhero movie tropes and like calling that shit out was like pretty hilarious. And like Marvel's kind of like calling themselves out. I'm like, it would have been funny of her kind of doing that
Mhm.
more throughout the episodes. Like, oh, they had um her the I keep forgetting her name, Titania, whatever.
Hmm.
Every week I forget her name. Uh, it's like, oh look, another throwaway female character that just comes in for plot device and then goes away and then comes back at the very end for no reason. Like, it would have been fine if she just like called out like the typical crap more throughout the I don't know, like. Because like that ending was so good of how they like called it out. Like I was laughing pretty much the whole time. I was
Mhm.
like, "That's great," and then I'm like, now I just wish they did that more. Like I don't know.
But that with that, I mean, God, I know we're skipping it all ahead, but it's like after she talked to Kevin A, it's like okay, dudes getting arrested. Remember, like it just went so fast right there. Like, I'm like, wait, so what happened then? I feel as though
Yeah,
they kind of skipped a whole lot of things that were
yeah,
more
that was my
important.
problem. I was like, so are they trying to say because he got arrested, he used the blood, did the blood not work when he injected it? Did she not? Did he not take the blood at all? Like, was the guy that she slept with the whole time not in there?
But I said,
So
yeah, he
like they
was not
kind of
even there.
yeah. So I
He
was like
was
they kind of
gone.
just like skip past stuff that was just like, oh well,
I
we laid foundation for this, but we threw that out the window because she broke the fourth wall and changed everything.
well, I
But
think that
So
was like
once again, that's
kind of
a
the
30
whole.
minute thing. That's not that much time.
I think that's the whole point though, of like her talking to Kevin and calling out like the crappy ending and the crappy setups that didn't have payoff and like flashy stuff that like didn't need to be there. And I think that's why basically she like rewrote basically the shit of the show to just end it the way that like she thought made sense. So like yeah, the blood thing probably just disappeared because she thought it was kind of dumb and unneeded. So like the ending doesn't really talk about it. But
She even mentioned that the whole super soldier thing, which was used before. That like that she mentioned that in that. So it's like, yeah, we seen shit like
so
that before.
then my problem is you sat me through 9 episodes of fucking garbage for that not to happen.
For it to make the fun of it at the final episode.
To make fun of everything we did in the final episode, and if this is true, then none of that stuff happened, and I had to sit there and watch it.
I think the show's being more specifically calling out the point of like you don't need a Marvel show to hit the typical points. Like it could just be a show literally about Jen and the shit she goes through. It doesn't need to be big boss fights and big plot twists and big whatever like typical Marvel stuff. Like they could just have a show like they have a comic that's just about Jen. Like I think
But
that's just the whole point. And then of course on top of that of the shitty men and throughout the show and the way that they treat her and shit. Like that's basically the show. Like it's calling out the fact that's not a typical Marvel show. Like that's the whole point.
I can see where you're coming from with that, but like, is it? But shouldn't there be some type of connection to the MCU? Because you are part of the MCU, you are part of the universe. But at the end of the day, like everything falls in place to one thing. So like, for you to just have this show about Jen, like, okay, like, where's it gonna get me excited for? Because not every Marvel show, but like most of the Marvel shows, led up to something. This led up to like,
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to every Marvel thing, I feel everyone's like so spoiled with how Marvel has been that now they expect every little thing that Marvel puts out to be like, "Ooh, it has to always connect. There always has to be something leading up to something." It's like, "No, like you could just enjoy its own story as a story. Like it doesn't always have to be ooh, leading up to the big thing." It's like, no, like
Hmm.
it could just be its own thing. Like before they were connecting everything, starting the MCU as baby MCU, like things weren't fully connecting in huge maybe there might be little things here or there that would start setting up Avengers or start setting up little pieces, but like it wasn't making these huge connections. I think people forget that like not everything has to be giant connections, guys. Like it could just be its own thing. Like
Well, well,
We should,
I would.
then I guess we shouldn't wait for the after credits for every movie. Then
Well, no, I would argue that a lot of the like you have examples of stuff that did stand on its own that didn't connect to anything like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It
yeah.
was in itself an encapsulated movie and it didn't have anything to do with the MCU at large. I would say like Iron Man 2, there was a lot of stuff in there that I feel that was just like, oh, well, this was a standalone thing. It didn't really connect to most of the other stuff and it didn't have to. My
Yeah, and that's good.
problem, yeah, and that's fine. My problem becomes so if you were just gonna make a show about Jen Walter She-Hulk, why is it called She-Hulk Attorney at Law? So like I mean like regardless of what they tried to do, like the argument stands true, right? Like you named it She-Hulk Attorney at Law. It had nothing to do with law. If you wanted to make a show that was just about Jen Walters and doing stuff, you could have just called it She-Hulk. And
No, I
that
know.
way you introduce a world to her and all her whatever she does. Because it gives you a false perception of what the show should be. And even if you go to the end of the show on this finale and you changed everything before that, it doesn't it doesn't change the fact that I had to watch
I mean, it
nine
doesn't
crappy
change
episodes.
everything. It
You
the only
know?
thing that really it didn't change everything though. Like the only thing that changed was like, oh, that dorky guy that like leaked her shit. Like, oh, he didn't actually have the serum. Like that's kind of dumb, so we got rid of that. Oh, like that's like literally the only thing that really changed. She just wanted to make sure that like he got proper justice for stealing her info and shit and leaking it. And then Abomination basically like realized, oh, you shouldn't be doing this crap and turning into Abomination when you're not supposed to and take credit for that. And that's what happened. Like it didn't rewrite the whole show. It just changed the fun, like the finale ending. Like that's all it
Yeah.
did.
But honestly, I would have rather probably seen the finale fight than the fourth wall breaking, honestly. Because, like you said, like they didn't do it in a clever way. It was just her kind of talking to us directly, right? And if she had done like the stuff you said, like she fast forward through the dates, or she like paused something and was like, "Look, I can't take this," and like walked out of a scene, that'd have been cool. I'd have been like, "Oh man, that's awesome how she's interacting with the stuff," and that would have been better than what we got, right? Like just her like off to the side, like, "Hey, I don't like this," and you're just like, "Yeah, who cares?" And
But
to
that's the whole point, though. Like in a finale of a Marvel show doesn't need to have a big flashy fight
no,
scene.
I'm
And
not. I'm saying like I
yeah,
would still rather get the flashy fight scene than what I got, because the fourth wall breaking wasn't like a thing. They made it a thing on that episode, but then like they didn't really emphasize it like you said. They didn't use clever ways to do it.
mhm.
If it was better interaction with us in the fourth wall breaking, like if you watch Deadpool, which is probably the best fourth wall breaking, and he's just like doing stuff, and like I don't know if you ever watched the part where he like goes back in time and starts killing people and doing craziness, and like he shoots himself in the head before he reads the Green Lantern script and stuff. And it's just like funny stuff like that where it's just like that's hilarious, that's amazing. I probably would have liked her character a lot more because of the the stuff that they made me feel for her, or like do the and I was just like, I don't feel shit for her by the end of this. I don't really
See,
care if she has a cool ending. You know what I mean? I was like, I would have rather just saw a big old fight at the end
Yeah,
because most of the build up stuff was it had no fights, it had no substance, it had
eh,
nothing to do. So when all else fails, give me a big ass fight.
and then when you say that, you don't care about a character for me, and that's where I'm nervous for it because now it's like to the part where it's like, do people even care to see She-Hulk again? Because that's what I worry about because you look forward to seeing a lot of these characters again in a future Avengers movie or show, but like now it's like I feel as though this series. Everyone's on mute right now.
We're listening to you. We're
I
listening.
know, listen, but I just feel as though like this show didn't give her just where it's like oh, I'm excited to see She-Hulk again. I'm like people are gonna be like, oh, is She-Hulk there? You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, he said that at the end. He was like, "Oh, I'll see you again in the movie." She was like, "Really?" He's like, "Nah." He's like, "Nah."
which we will, but like you know what I'm saying, it's still like
Will we?
I believe we will. They said, I
I
mean,
think it's funny though that they like randomly out of nowhere pulled that like Hulk has a son now, and it's like, wait, what?
Oh yeah,
Like,
that. I was just
yeah.
like, so they introduced Scar
Uh,
at the end of the
I mean,
episode. I was like,
like, great.
and it's like, oh, we'll deal with that in a movie. It's like, oh, okay.
Like,
Like,
it's like why? Like, what was the point of that? Like, that was te- just why? That was a waste.
it was a
That's
waste.
that was a waste right there. You don't introduce him to the end of the show like that. Like, no. Like, do I want to see Scar? Yeah, but like not at that setting right there. Like, no, that was just bad. Which
yeah,
honestly, we didn't really. I mean, we didn't even touch base on the whole like She-Hulk group, which to me, I guess that was the whole. Pretty much the antagonists of the show. Like, yeah, you look at them, they're a bunch of goofballs, but I mean, like technically, like I said, that's how in today's world really is. Like, I feel as though it does touch base on some real world issues right now. So I appreciate for doing that because these guys are a bunch of fuck boys. Online saying, I'm not saying because she was a woman, but she doesn't deserve them. It's like it's just typical fuck boy
that that
pro
whole scene
pro
with
male shit.
Pug like infiltrating like the dudes thing was just
Yeah.
kind of hilarious because I'm like, That's exactly what they fucking sound like, and then they're that dumb that when someone's faking it horribly, they still accept it. And it's like
Literally, they
and I died when they're like, "And you have to refer to women as females." I'm like, "Yes," because they all sound like fucking retards when they're like, "Females."
you said
Well,
the R word. You
well,
said the R word. You
well.
said the R word.
It was
Ooh.
something
Ooh.
really like particular about that scene, right? She goes like, "Hey, make sure you call them females because that's what they do." And then like he goes in there, and I think Titania busts through the wall, and she calls her a bitch right off the gate. So I was just like, so,
What?
so riddle me that when Titania busts
Yeah,
through
but,
the
like,
wall,
what's that
she
have to
called
do with it?
Titania a bitch, but like you're already using derogatory female terms. Why would you do that if you just told him not to do that?
I'm a little confused.
I
So
don't get
like
the
I
connection.
guess like her saying females was supposed to say they were supposed to say females as like something that's offensive that they say.
Inferior.
Well, they say it as, like, a way of, like, making women inferior, as, like, they're, like, a weird
Yeah,
sub thing, and
right?
they're, like, as
Yeah.
the biological term, calling them
Yes.
Yeah.
females,
Okay.
yeah.
So when Titania breaks through the wall, the same person who used say make sure you use that term because that's a derogatory term they use for women, right? She calls Titania a bitch,
Okay.
Yeah.
which is a derogatory term for women, right? Like, and I was just like,
Well, 'cause
I
I
don't
mean,
know. Maybe I thought too much into it because I was just like that. Okay, but it is
I
what
mean,
it
if you
is.
kinda wanna get to it, though, like, Titania was kind of a bitch, though. She tried to take over She-Hulk's whole brand name and, like, turn it on her and,
Hey
like,
man,
be an
that's business,
asshole.
right? That's business,
Showed up to a
literally.
wedding just to, like, punch her out out of nowhere,
I
like
mean, the showing up to the wedding was kind of a dick move, but
Yeah.
the copywriting stuff, I'm like, yo, that's business. You should have copyrighted that before you know what I mean. You should have jumped to the gun
yeah,
before
and if a
she
guy
did.
did that, I would
Yeah.
call him an asshole for doing it. I would call her a bitch, like
See, I don't call. I like
But
call the woman a B word if she's racist. She's trying to kill me. I don't. I try not to call a woman a B word right there. I let the girls, ladies, you can show this that I'm staying away from that. I'm staying away from that. But
I'm just saying, it
nah,
was. I don't know. It could have been something. Yeah, it just could have been something else. I guess that's small compared to all the other stuff I didn't like, but
I think to wrap up my thought about it as a general thing, it's like I'm disappointed that this show didn't go as creative with it as they could have, and then didn't
should have.
yeah, they should have went farther with it, but should have been more creative, and they didn't. And I'm sure that probably was the same type of meddling with the story that was meddling with her overall design with not wanting her to be too muscular. Um, Probably those same people were messing around with the plot and messing around with the rest of the show. Um, but I just think they could have done more. They should have done more creative things. The story could have been a little bit more thought out, and they should have given the show more time because I feel like it didn't do it any service to squish it into these 30-minute, 25-minute, episodes and then only be what, 8, 9 episodes long?
9 episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
nine. Yeah.
like you kind of just cut it. You already gave it like a shitty chance because like you gave it such short episodes. Like I think these were like what the shortest episodes in a Marvel show so far. Like
Feels like it.
And there, I don't know if it's been, I don't know if it's been confirmed or it's been rumored that it might be in season two. Which I'm like, how can it begin a season two?
if they take what they learned from this first season and what the finale was including with that type of comments and fourth wall breaking and that type of creativity in it, and they continue that with season two and get better at it, then
Mhm.
I think it'll be a better show. It'll be more enjoyable to watch. But I just think this first season was clunky. It
It,
had potential. Like it was
it started
almost
off. It
there,
started off. It
and
started off good. It started off good.
And do some lawyering if they're
Lawyering.
gonna call it attorney at law.
I'm hoping
Yes.
that now that it ended with her fully accepting, like, I'm both, and, like, she's fully accepting the She-Hulk self and, like, whatever, then, like, I feel like hopefully in a next season, it'll be more her balancing the lawyer better with the She-Hulk and less of the drama crap in between and more, you know.
I don't know. For me, I just feel like you should have had that in season one. Like, I don't want to hear this. Well, season one was a learning experience. No, y'all should have nailed it at the beginning right there.
Yeah,
You
that was
can't.
just like
You
when you
can't.
release a game, it's like, oh, this is just a beta version of the game. I paid $60 for it. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah.
feel they did in terms of nerd gamer
Yeah,
terms.
exactly. You
You
gotta
know?
yeah, gotta wait for the DLC to come out right there. DLC
Yeah, right.
coming
It's
out
just
next.
like
The complete edition.
I
The
mean, not
complete
on the same
edition.
breath, because like season one of Netflix Daredevil was amazing, but like that's like almost like the people that got mad because like he didn't get his official suit until like the last episode.
see, but I love that he didn't get his suit until the last episode because if you read the comic book, the original uniform he wore was the do rag with the black sweatshirt and like he just wore all black. And it didn't make sense for him to have it right in the beginning, right? Like he had to build up to it. The dude had
Oh,
to
I
actually
know.
make it.
I'm
And
just
I was
saying
like,
there's people that do get annoyed by it, but
I actually love it. And I actually love that he went back to it in season 3 when the guy took his suit.
mhm.
But
Yeah,
oh yeah, they showed like her super tracksuit in the episode with Daredevil as well.
yeah, I like the tracksuit.
Yeah.
But I
It-
mean, for me though, the show didn't give her justice, and I like She-Hulk. And I feel as though I told us with Rachel is that I just feel as though I mean you can say WandaVision is part of this too. I don't know if I count that or not, but like I just feel as though there hasn't been like any good strong female shows or movies throughout the MCU, and I feel as though we should be at this point. I feel as though She-Hulk just failed at that. Miss Marvel failed at that. um, Black Widow failed at that. Like I Captain Marvel failed at that. So it's like Ray said, oh here's your female superhero. That's it. Like no, it's got to be more than that. And I just feel as though that She-Hulk could have been that female led female that we need in the MCU, and it didn't do her any justice. There's like
yeah.
you had the actress, feels like you had a good actress for it, but like the script, the CGI, all that it went into was just bad. And I feel, and like I said, when you have some bad shows like this, people are not gonna get excited for when they see them in the future. Like I said, the Marvels, Captain Marvel was not great. Miss Marvel wasn't great. You think you want to see? You think they want to see him again? No. The only thing I'm excited about Miss Marvel is Rambo. That's it. That's just the only reason why I want to see that movie.
Mhm.
So I feel as
I
though
think
this.
you have to make a distinction though of who's excited for who, because I see a ton of people on my side of the internet that like love Miss Marvel, that love Captain Marvel, that love um the She-Hulk show, that like, and not just women. Like there's people out there that love these shows and love these
Yeah,
characters. I think the main base is like, again, the the target base that they're making fun of in She-Hulk is the Marvel dude bros that are the ones
yeah,
hating it.
and I love
Um
it, and
Mm.
I loved it, love that
I
part.
think as a whole, like of the Marvel fandom, I think there's enough people that do love these characters and do love these shows and these
Oh
movies.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Because
Yeah, I don't agree with you. I don't disagree with you. Like I said, I love Miss Marvel. It was it wasn't the best show. I like Shell. I don't love Shell. It was a best show. Like, I'm still gonna watch it regardless. Don't get me wrong, but it's like for instance, Reese. I, I don't think Reese has watched a single episode of this. Has he? Like, yeah, I think Reese is pretty much done with Marvel at this point. You told me.
No, I think he did watch it. I talked to him a few days ago. I think he did watch this. Him and his wife watched it.
Okay.
So, but for me, I wanted to like Miss Marvel really bad because I love Kamala Khan in the comic
Yeah.
book, and I was just like, it just hurt my heart when I didn't like it. You know what I mean? Like I
So how do
wanted
you
to
think
like.
I feel?
Hmm?
I'm over here crying about
But
this
like
shit.
you talking about me, dude. I'm talking about I wanted. I got my Captain Falcon, Sam Wilson. I mean, I got my Captain America, Sam Wilson. I got Kamala Khan, and I was like, oh my god, are they going to do Miles Morales? Are they going to do the newer Avengers cartoon? Like, you know what I mean? Are they going to do a newer Avengers? And I was just like, dreams, coming to life. But I was just like, I didn't like it at all. I was like, I think what it is that they have a female writing problem
yeah,
where
they do.
yeah, where they just make the female super overpowered and then have no flaws. And
I wouldn't say that's the issue. I would say the issue is they're trying too hard to push like I'm a woman, I have problems. Like they do, and that's a story to touch on, but like when every single show and movie harps on like I need to be a strong woman and I need to do this. It's like we get it, we understand. Can you just write a good story? And like
Like that.
like
That's what.
they'll
That's
be strong through the story that you write. We'll see that they're a strong character through the struggles they have to go through
Mhm.
as their superhero powers, as they're this and they're that, and like not have to constantly connect it to like crappy stereotype women things. Like
Well,
I think Birds of
always
Prey.
go back to the
Birds of Prey
character.
failed at that part right there.
Always go back to the character of Sarah Connor in the Terminator series
she was
because I
originally wrote to
feel
be a man though.
she was originally wrote to be a
I
man.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean a lot of characters that they do are that like I think Ripley in Alien was supposed to be originally supposed to be a dude,
That's why they're good.
but
Ah, I
that's
didn't
my
know
saying.
that.
I'm just like, all right, so like if you that character changed from a man to a woman, but we still relate to that character no matter what. If that had been a man, I'd have still related to that character, you know? If it would have been if it's a woman, I relate to that character. You know what I mean? Like the struggle that character went through to grow in that story, I related to. I man, I watch Terminator a couple times a year now. Like so
Wait,
I was
which
just like
ones? Which ones?
1, 2, and the Sarah Connor Chronicles are the
Was
ones you
Circle
wanna
Was
bang
that
with.
the show?
That was the show. Show was amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm about to say that got canceled.
Yeah, it got canceled after season 2, but oh my god, like character development on that show. I don't want to talk about it, but but like if I guess if they would just look at it through like those types of eyes, right? Just like, oh, this character is a person and this person is going along this journey and what would this person do along that journey, right? And take out the being a woman part. I think you would get better stories and better writing, you know? And it's just I think people now are so what it is that they're so sensitive and they don't want to offend anybody and they're trying to appeal to what they think the masses want.
But that's what Rachel
And
said about not to control it. That's what Rachel said
mhm,
on the first episode. You gotta make people feel uncomfortable. Was that you said something like that, right? Or
yes,
no?
Yeah,
I
something
think it was,
similar.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I watch a lot of movies that don't make me feel comfortable, but like I watch them because they're good. Like I don't like watching Seven, but it's a great movie. If you ever saw Seven,
Mhm.
Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman, the
Yeah.
the, the content of that movie is horrendous,
Mhm.
but the movie is so good, right?
Mm.
Like it's just like
I think I think my point was like not that like you should just write female characters as men and then just like throw a woman in them because like obviously women do have different experiences
well,
than
that
men
wasn't
do.
that wasn't my
No, no, but I'm saying like my
yeah.
point, like reiterate, like trying to
Hmm.
explain more. Like that's not what I'm trying to say. Because I do agree, but like I on the point of like there's just certain things with all these movies, like the Wonder Woman movies and all the newer like the latest uh when they tried to do the live action Tomb Raider, the newer versions. It's like they just have to always throw like the typical crap in there of like strong women shit or it's just like how many times we have to see, oh, this character is a strong female character because she got past being like sexually assaulted or something. It's like
Birds of
it's like
Prey.
it's like a woman isn't
Birds of
just
Prey.
strong just because she had something horrible happen to her. Like, no, like, um, it's I don't know, like that type of writing is just annoying. It's like
Yeah.
It's
I
old
just
at
want to
this point
see
now.
great
Cause I
stories
could
with female leads. Like,
cause I could
I'm
frame
getting
that
tired of it.
I
Like,
can definitely frame that a different way, right? Like I'm a black man living in America. I've had horrendous things happen to me and said to me and done, you know what I mean? Like I had to get over a lot of stuff. But I don't keep throwing that in people's face.
No.
well,
I
that's like
don't go
certain people.
outside.
Like, tell me if I'm wrong, but like that, I would assume is like on your side thing. Like, it would be annoying to like where every African American led movie is about slavery or like things like you're
Bro, and
tired of
the thing
seeing
is,
it.
they try to say it, but like, oh, it's gonna be for the African American community. We're getting tired of seeing slave movies, bro.
Exactly. Like
We're
that's
getting
on the
Yes.
yeah.
we're getting tired. Just
I
because you're
would
giving slave movies, doesn't mean you're doing us any favors right there. No, and I feel
no.
as though Black Panther did a great job of not not forcing that upon. Which, by the way, I said corrected. The best female leads were Dora Milaje, and that's the best female
Oh
led
yes,
MCU right there.
Yeah.
They
yes,
were the best
Yeah.
female led in the MCU.
yes,
So honestly, I feel
most definitely.
that's why I'm more excited for the movie because I feel that the women were just going to kill it in that film. They were the best. They were the most gangsters in the film in the first one.
They were.
Dora Milaje were the best female led in the MCU.
I
Tell
mean,
me
I
I'm
would
wrong.
say all the females on Black Panther were pretty much close to flawless.
Yeah,
Like I was just like, yeah, that's literally if you look at the movie, they were the heroes that saved the hero.
Hmm.
So like it wasn't just like, oh well, he's the king, he's just gonna get it done. It was just like he needed help, he needed support, and most of his support was
and I
black women. So
and
it
I
was just like, yeah,
and I forgot what the one lane when she said it was like it was either for her and her fiance. You're gonna choose me. Gonna choose your country over me? Hell yeah! Choose my
yeah.
people over you. F you. Like she did it. She did a typical. Oh, I'm gonna still be with you. No, fuck that shit. I'm gonna choose my people and my land over you. Fuck you, bro. Of
Well, that's
course.
why I like that they called the next movie Wakanda Forever, because I feel that Wakanda was a bigger character in the movie than the characters were,
Mm.
and I am excited to see more of that. I like that they put Namor in it. Um,
Is he gonna be the first mutant?
yeah, probably because Namor is a mutant. So I was just like, I'm glad they put him in it. But like, once again, I know like I explained it before, but I wish they had recast T'Challa. And I like I said then, I was like, I love Chadwick Boseman. I followed his career for a long time, but I felt like they should have just recast T'Challa in there.
Now, I guess since we gave our thoughts about She-Hulk and everything, so I guess the next Marvel we have is Black Panther. So I don't know if
What's
Rachel was with
after
us.
Black Panther?
That's it for Phase 4.
That's
Black.
it for
Well,
this year, I think.
that's it for yeah. Then it's gonna be Ant Man and the
Mhm,
Wasp and Quantum and
Quantum Mania.
What's the
Quantumania.
next
So
show though?
I
Did
don't
they
know actually.
is it?
specify?
Wait, I think it's Secret Invasion. Is it?
I think so. Yeah. Is that a
I think
show or a movie?
I I think it's a show. I think it's gonna be a show. I believe
I
because I
felt like
know
I felt like you
because
answered that before for me.
Wasn't there a show that was going to be a show, but then now they changed it to be a movie?
Armor Wars.
Armor Wars.
Oh, okay.
Which to me, I'm glad they did it because I'm sorry. Don Chenna's been disrespected in the MCU for a long ass time. He ain't do shit, and he didn't do shit in Endgame. He ain't do shit in that movie. So please, for the like, took y'all long enough to give this character some fucking love. Like, what's Don Shadow's moments in the MCU?
Huh?
What is Don Shadow's moments in the MCU? Please tell me that. Iron
His
Man 2.
moments
All
on Endgame when he came down in front of Ant Man.
what's up, regular size man? That's it.
That's it.
And he knocked out Quill. That's it.
Yep.
He was not in the fight. You saw him in the armor, but he was not in the fight. And I'm sitting in theater. I'm like, he did not have a single moment in the entire fight. Am I seeing this right now? Like that's a disrespected. So now you can make him now his show's gonna be to a movie now. I'm happy about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
because like at the end of Endgame, he popped up in like the Iron Patriot armor or
yeah,
something, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
You did not see a single moment of him firing anything.
that's true.
And I'm pretty sure he might be there, be like, the fuck is this shit?
I mean, I'm sure he doesn't care because he got a check and he's just like, okay.
Nah, B. Nah, I don't like that shit. But anyway, yeah. So are we? So like I said it to Eric, Rich. I don't know if you were with us or not. But I said at the end of the year, I do want to get us together again and talk about Phase 4 as a whole because as of right now, for me, Phase 4 has been a roller coaster ride, and I just am I slightly lyric for Wakanda Forever? Yes, but I have faith that it's gonna do well because I said they're not gonna let Chadwick Boseman's legacy die like that. Like, and now I said to Eric before you came on, and I'm exaggerating when I say this because I'm still gonna watch every movie and show. But like, if they fuck this movie up, I'm I'm gonna be extremely pissed at the MCU. And you can't fuck this movie up.
No,
For
what
f-
he said is he's gonna be done with the MCU. He's like, I'm done with it.
for Phase 4, I'll say because it's pretty obvious now after the whole phase. I was already catching on even just after WandaVision and then Falcon and Winter Soldier. Phase 4 was basically all these characters going through the grief and trauma of the after effects of the snap and Endgame. That was basically all of Phase 4, seeing the repercussions of all of that with all these characters. Wanda going through her stages of grief, in WandaVision with, losing her brother, her home, her losing Vision, losing, everything. And then we had, Falcon Winter Soldier, they're going through their trauma, Bucky with his trauma and, PTSD and stuff. And same with Sam, going through his problems. Then we had Loki going through his like trauma and shit. Like it seems like every movie and show that we've and now obviously with the upcoming Black Panther, that's going through grief, losing him and moving on past that.
Spider-Man was like the only one that
Yeah.
didn't really have that in a way, because
Spider-Man?
no, because
What you
Spider-Man
say? He was
3.
going through all the grief in that movie.
That's all the grief, dude. What are you talking
No,
about?
no, remember he had the grief after Endgame. That was in Phase 3 still. Talking about
No?
the
No
end
Way
of
Home?
Spider-Man.
No Way Home,
Yeah,
bro.
he's
When
grief.
he was just like Tony Stark, and then still
He was
his
grieving
mom,
Tony.
his I
Yeah.
Yeah,
mean his aunt died in
he
that
was
movie.
grieving
Yeah.
Tony Stark, but like he was grieving Tony Stark more after Endgame. So that was still Phase 3. I'm just saying,
That
like
wasn't
he was.
Phase 3.
Yeah, yeah.
No Way Home?
Oh
No,
yeah, it was.
far from home.
Uh,
Far from home was still Phase 3.
Okay.
no, I'm
Yeah,
saying
No
No
Way
Way
Home.
Home.
No Way Home was Phase 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, no. No Way
no way.
Home is Phase 4.
That's Phase 4. I'm saying
Is it
that.
Phase 4?
Yeah, that's Phase 4. Like the grief that he dealt with was with his. I'm just saying, like that was the only one that really wasn't like grieving after Endgame.
I mean, he was still even in
That
No Way
that movie.
Home. I mean, he was still having trouble with Stark, and then even if it wasn't directly related to Endgame and stuff, it's still maybe not grief like
The grief.
connected to Endgame. It's still a I mean, a movie regarding grief and loss and moving on from that.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I'm just saying to your point. You said your grief was, to after Endgame, and I feel so that was kind of introduced in Far From Home. So
Well,
not
I
in
think
well, I'm
it
Phase
just
was
saying
Four
more
in a
for
of
most of
way.
the
it
characters,
was the
like,
after effect of
yeah.
Endgame is what she meant. I mean, everybody was going through grief, but that was still the
Yeah,
after effect of Endgame, which
yeah.
they should, right? Like Endgame happened, it was this monumental thing, so they should have the after effects. Um, I just feel,
I mean,
I don't
even
know.
Shang-Chi was like the grief of going through like the dad accepting the mother's death and stuff. Like, maybe not directly, it's not connected to Endgame, but still a movie
I
about,
feel
acceptance.
that movie was amazing. I feel something does not get taught the best, but that was the best choreographed fight in the MCU.
It was, but that was the best Avatar movie I've ever seen. I was like, this dude is Aang, and this is like they made an Avatar movie, but I was like, this is really the Avatar movie in my mind.
Yeah,
So
that's honestly Shang-Chi is in my top 10. It's in my top 10 MCU movies.
top 10.
It is. I mean, it's rough. I mean, I had to if once the MCU is actually officially done, which it probably ain't gonna be for a long ass time. I'll do a list. Which, by the way, you hear about the pushbacks to a couple of the movies?
Yeah, I know. We were talking earlier about Blade, and I think they actually officially canceled Blade.
I think they're just officially rewriting the whole thing.
Okay, because I was about to
Yeah.
say I know they didn't like the script, and they were just done
Yeah,
with the director just left and everything. And I think Marshall Ali wasn't really up for it.
yeah. I can't. I want the movie to do really really well. Like I said, overall, like Phase 4, like I said, roller coaster ride for me with Phase 4, and I just hope that at least Wakanda Forever can like be. Like I said, I would have to relook at Phase 4 again, but I just want it to end on a good note with Black Panther, which
Hmm.
I'm confident it will. Me, I'm going over confidence, but like I said there's slight nervousness for that movie, just a slight, no, but like slight nervousness for Wakanda Forever.
Well, I was talking to somebody else about this, right? And I was like, what movie franchise has had a run like the MCU? 10 straight years of like 24, 25, whatever movies with shows in there. And I was just like, yeah, they're gonna have some bad stuff along the way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
never
Like,
gonna be perfect.
Well,
but
the thing,
that's
yeah,
no, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, like, a thing with Marvel because it's been going for so long. It's like there's only so far you can go. Like, it's impossible with every movie and every show to keep topping it and topping it and topping it. Like, you're
Yeah,
gonna you have to like with this Phase 4 is a moment of like slowing down, making it more intimate with these individual, like these separate characters,
Hmm.
going through their thing, so that we can then build up the next thing. Like
yeah,
they had to slow down, and now it's gonna like go back to going like
yeah.
slowly ramping back up.
I
So
don't see them topping what they did in the first three phases. And I feel as though the people
Yeah,
that are like, I have like friend of mine's, they're Marvel haters. That's I'm gonna put up like that. They're gonna say they're done. They're not gonna be as good. Like, yeah, we know that. We officially know they're not gonna be as good, but we still want to see. Like I'm gonna say this. We still want to see some decent, good shows and movies. We know it's not gonna be to the top of it, but we're so happy to be getting more MCU stuff. We know what Phase 1 and 2 and 3 did. We understand that. So like
yeah,
for us to think that it's gonna top that, that's we're asking way too much.
yeah.
Way
Because
too.
my friend asked me, he was like, "So Kang, is he like better than Thanos?" Blah blah blah. I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I like Jonathan Majors, but I don't think he's gonna be a better character than what Thanos is to me. But I am interested in seeing what he's gonna do with the character because I like him. So I was just like, that is the big draw for me. Like, could care less about Kang. I never liked Kang in the comic books,
Yeah, I never
but
care for him.
yeah, I was just
But,
like,
but MCU makes you care about these characters a lot more. And I said this before. Rachel was not here. Thanos was always been a was a big time villain. The MCU just
yes,
made him even like bigger. Like the fact that he
there
was
is there is no comic book where Thanos is there that somebody doesn't die or get wrecked. So like regardless, when Thanos enters the scene, somebody's getting dead or mass
yes.
amounts of people are getting dead.
Yes, I was when I
So
first saw him. Like I said, when I first saw him at the end of Avengers and Caesar, I was super excited.
you couldn't have been more
Super,
excited than me,
super
man.
excited. Oh yeah,
I was
most likely not. 'Cause I know you're the comic guy, but I was super excited for that.
not just that,
But,
Thanos is like one of my favorite characters. Like
mm,
he he is like he's 100%. If you ever watch if you ever read the comic book Thanos Quest, then you'll understand what I mean. Like he's a just a cerebral character, and like yeah, he can probably beat the living crap out of you physically, but he would rather outthink you than outpower you. But when just like he you saw in the movie, like when push comes to shove, like yeah, I can do all the physical stuff too if you want me to. And I was like, I love that character. I don't know. I just think he's
I
just
think moving forward, I think I'm just looking forward to seeing Phase 4, and I actually liked them focusing on individual characters and like their pocket little like stories, and like focusing on just them for bits because I also like seeing the creativity that they're now allowing themselves to do with each installment. Um, some of their some people think it's hit or miss, but I think the creativity that they did for WandaVision with the whole, serials of like different eras of TV.
WandaVision would start off
Um,
on a was great. It started off great for. I thought it had a good start for Phase 4. That was an excellent start,
yeah, I
in
mean,
my
they
opinion.
tried being creative with Miss Marvel with the little like pop ups. They tried being creative in She-Hulk with the fourth wall breaks. Maybe they weren't done the best way, but like at least they're trying to be more creative and stylistic with their stuff. Even though I think I'm mad that they messed up the whole pacing and story for Wanda in Multiverse of Madness because that dude was a butthole. Um,
Talk about who was the butthole? Who was the
uh,
butthole?
I don't even remember his name because he angers me. But watching the behind the scenes where he was basically like whatever writer or something that was co-writer or something about this was like, um,
was
he
that
was
Sam Raimi?
basically pissed. No, not the director.
Mm.
Some dude that basically looks like he just came out of film school and he's like, my daddy works somewhere, so I got the job. Um, he looks like one of those dudes. But like he was basically saying how, oh, they had this other plan for Wanda, they're building her up and it was gonna be later that she went more evil side, but like I wanted her evil in my movie. So I convinced them to let me do it now. And it's like, so you messed up all of her character building because you're a whiny bitch and you wanted your evil Wanda for you.
Yeah, I
Like
would have preferred her getting a little more like hero time, you know?
like the
Yeah.
original Multiverse of Madness plot was like her basically going to Strange for help, I believe, to be like, help me control my powers, like learn more, like what to like how to handle it more,
Hmm.
and her secretly like using the Darkhold, and then like her slowly going into that, getting taken by the Darkhold, and like slowly going into that like madness, like it was supposed to be more gradual, and they just totally screwed that because this guy wanted to be selfish and have her be evil in his movie, and like
Michael Waldron. Waldron.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Bitch boy.
But I'll agree with that one. Like I feel like she kind of flipped really fast, and
Really, really fast.
I kind of recognized that in the previews in the trailers. I'm sorry, of the movie. I was like, well, why don't they have an enemy in this movie? I was like, I'm not seeing anybody they're fighting, and I was like,
Yep.
let me find out they have Wanda flip the script on this one, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that because Wanda is she's insane pretty much in the comic book, so she kind of flips back and forth. But like they did like an alternate version of House of M with the um
The
the
WandaVision.
WandaVision show, and I was
Mhm.
just like I like their twist on it, and I would have rather them do a hero's journey for her and then have it corrupted than just like, oh, next time you just see her she's just gonna be downhill.
Yeah, we never
Yeah,
saw.
but
We never saw the Dark Hulk fully take control. It's all bam. That's it. That's why I
yeah.
felt so Agatha the Harkness should have been used for that as well because she did tell her you do know what you've done yada 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 could have used for her go for help as well too but
Well,
that's
Agatha is getting her own show, so
we'll have to see but yeah we'll have to see because now that I guess that she's quote unquote dead who knows what happened to the Dark Cold will does she get her powers back now but
Well, I
that's
mean,
a
she
really
always
good
had her
thing.
powers. It's just that the Darkhold corrupted her mind to make her more like not
No,
realize.
I'm talking about Agatha. Now,
Oh,
because remember, now
Agatha.
that she last time we saw her, she was that nosy neighbor. So now that Wanda is dead, who knows if that Paris went back to her, to
Mm.
Agatha. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, man, yeah, that's about it for She-Hulk. I know we got. I mean, honestly, like I said, She-Hulk was just short. We we got to talk about the future of the MCU, obviously, because after that wonderful series we just saw right there. But I mean, overall, we just thought the show could have been better.
And if anything, this show just made me want more Matt. So
is
give me more of my favorite Marvel boy. Just give me him.
he really your favorite Marvel character?
Yeah, like
Oh,
I love Charlie Cox. I love how he portrays Matt and Daredevil. I love the extent that he went through to train to successfully, pull off being a blind person.
hmm
And just hearing him talk about the character and stuff, basically he like kept tweeting and like like I will fight whoever they try to recast to be Daredevil if they ever try to recast him, and like
yeah,
like he like really loves his character and he plays it so well, and I don't know, I just love him all around.
yeah.
So
was your theater
I'll agree
going
with that one.
crazy? Was your theater going crazy when they saw him in No Way Home?
oh yeah, it's
My
funny because like I got spoiled from it because internet, so like I knew he was going to
Oh,
show up in it, but of course my friend who I went with was just like, was like nudging me the whole time. I'm like, yeah, I
yeah.
know, but like, yay, like,
Apparently, he told me he said this theater did not go crazy when his character appeared on
yeah,
screen. I'm like,
his theater he was
no.
sitting in, but like my theater didn't go crazy. Only I went crazy. So
Did you
my
go like
theater, my
closer to like opening when it first came out, or
no, I went to see it like a week after it came out.
because maybe
So
then everyone got spoiled by it?
exactly, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because
I was
I
like media blackout. I wasn't trying to listen to anybody.
I went on Friday, the day after it came out
Mm.
on theaters.
But I do love him playing the character, and I'm glad he gets to play the character again. He does have a lot of love and ownership over that character, I feel. So even though like he's there now. Like, I'm greedy when it comes to my Marvel characters. Now I'm like, oh, they got to bring John Barathol back as Punisher because that's probably like one of the greatest Punishers ever committed to film. So I was just like, yeah. So I got my Kingpin, I got my Daredevil. I need my Punisher back
I
because I
Hmm.
wonder
was
if they
just
would
like,
actually bring him back though, just because of how graphic he is. Like there's a way to tone down like the Netflix Daredevil show and still have it feel Daredevil without it being like overly graphic. But I feel like Punisher, like that's his whole thing, and to like Disneyfy him would be like really
Well, I mean, we got
like
Deadpool.
I was about to say they can't. They
that's
probably
that's
can't do a
rated R
show.
though.
They probably
Yeah.
can't do a show. I was thinking more of bringing them back in the movie and then still have Daredevil in that movie.
I mean, if they have the balls to like make it rated R like they did with Deadpool and stuff, then like yeah, it could totally
I
work.
mean,
But
if they can bring, if they can have Deadpool, they can have Punisher. That's just my thing right there.
Yes, because I think John Barathol was the best Punisher we've ever seen. I was like, I've
I mean,
rarely
can't
seen
you can't debate
anybody who's
that.
like who's played the Punisher and has made me want to cry. You know what I mean? Like he was amazing as a Punisher.
You can't debate that.
Yeah.
You can't really debate that. So I mean, like I said, there are things to be excited for in the MCU, but there are things I really like. I scratch my head right now, but
I still forget that Hawkeye was even a show.
Yeah. I like the stuff they did with the
like
Hawkeye
the,
character,
gr- the like the grief
but
and everything was definitely was like
Well, yeah, but like
relatable.
when I think of
yeah,
like all the Marvel shows, like that one just like escapes my brain because like it just didn't fully impact me as much, I guess. Like
It
Loki
didn't.
escapes my brain.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
like
no, yeah, no. I
I
don't
go like
blame you.
this, and then Loki falls out the other side of my head. It's
And
just
I really wanted Hawkeye to do well too, because big original six. So like I said, we got Kingpin. That's about it. But it was a nerf down. It was like the boss character you had logging to be like a shitty ass character. It was that type of Kingpin.
yeah. They put the
Uh,
difficulty on easy.
yeah, well, especially for Kate Bishop. For Kate Bishop,
I try to chalk that up to maybe he was one of the people that got blipped, and then him coming back, he like lost all his like
I,
major mojo.
lo-
He has to
I
like
like.
build. He has to build it up again. You know.
You got to build it
Yeah,
back up. We
I,
want the
I,
door decapitating, all that stuff, Kingpin. You know.
yeah, it'll be coming. So like I said, I'm looking forward. Like I said, I'm kind of, even though like I said it's not up to one, two, and three phases, but I'm still gonna watch it. Like it's hard for me. Why would I stop it now when I seen all of them? Like, like I said, is it gonna be as great as the first three stages? No, but I'm still looking forward to see what they got planned for us. But right now, next thing we got forward to is Black Panther, and I would love, love, love to talk about it with you guys because that's gonna be after that. We're not gonna have another one until February. So I always love talking Marvel with you guys. It's a lot of fun.
Well,
Although
I'm
to be
definitely
honest,
gonna.
that conversation would probably just be a repeat of this conversation for me, because I already said everything I thought about for Phase Four.
Well, no, what? True. Yeah, you're right, but I just want to yeah. But we might have some other things to say. There might be some more news that can possibly come out. Like I said, after Fate, like I said, after Black Panther, we'll have some things to say about that. So my thing is this, we'll have our Black Panther discussion, and then we can say, okay, thoughts on Phase 4 overall. But Gary, we kind of already went. We kind of already went that route already. So you can always we can always still go out of that.
We'll
But
get more
I'll
people.
just take parts of this clip where I'm talking and I'll just replay it. How about that?
shut up, Rachel. Okay,
Okay.
Well,
stop
we'll have
ruining.
more people, so
Oh yeah, Reese will have. Okay, seriously, if we can get Reese and Eric on with everybody else, they're great. Because the only time people that saw Reese and Eric on was Creed. Rachel, you and Anthony have not seen Eric and E on camera together. Pause. Like when these guys are together, shit goes down. Like y'all need to see this shit. Like it's entertainment, honestly. It's beautiful to
Does
see.
it look like a Wikipedia battle where they're just spitting like random facts of Wiki at them? Like
or does Wikipedia have facts? I don't know. Wikipedia has. I mean, I've used it for a lot of my high school projects. So I mean, I can't say that Wikipedia all that bad. But
Mm,
when it's a great debate.
uh, it's,
Okay, like how you guys got into the debate on the first episode. No, Reese and Eric, it's worse. It's worse. If I can honestly, I got to try to find it. Actually, if I look back to my old videos and see a clip of that, then I can get something right there probably.
yeah, I Reese is one of my best friends. We've been friends for I don't know, like 30 years now. Um, we just don't agree on anything. That's we agree
It's,
on nothing, and that's usually where Knuckles comes in and just watches us
I've
argue.
watched a lot. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like I said, there's been times when you haven't been on, and Rachel it was talked to Reese, and there are things they didn't agree on. Well, it wasn't like how you guys were, but it was a while ago though. Almost about a year ago. Holy shit! It was almost about a year ago. So we talked about what if. Jesus Christ.
Has it been?
Yeah, what if? What? Yeah, the final episode of What If was like last year around this time. God,
Well,
man,
yeah, they
holy
do kind
shit.
of.
It does go by fast, but nah, guys. I want to appreciate you guys for for tuning on this final episode of She-Hulk. I mean, like I said, it was it was a rough series, but we got through it. Will I ever watch it again? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe I might have that laugh at the whole fourth wall thing, but if they can somehow make it a better show in season two, that's great and all. But I feel as though we should have gotten the first season. But I don't make the rules. I don't work at Marvel, so that's on them. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you guys missed this, will be on Spotify. This will be on Anchor. And hopefully next time you see us, we will be talking about Black Panther. Rich probably won't be there because she'll say the same thing she said about tonight. So
Well, she wouldn't have seen Black Panther yet, so
exactly,
Yeah.
Thank you. I was going to say that
But then I'll say
exactly.
that in
Yeah.
the Black Panther thing.
Shut up, Rachel. My God.
you just don't want to come back and talk with us. That's all right. I understand.
I thought
I just don't like repeating myself. There's no point.
I don't you just don't. I'm your friend, okay? I just made this nice post about you on Instagram. And you just want to do this to me. You just want to do this to me. Don't you want to
See,
help
this
your
is why
friend?
we work good because we just argue and pick on each other like siblings or something, and it's fun.
It's not fun. It's mean. It's mean. You're a bully.
Not
Damn it,
bully.
you're a bully. That's because you're slightly taller than me. Does that mean you can make fun of me? God damn it!
I never
I
said you were short. You're bringing up the short thing. I don't know what you're saying.
Napoleon
I'm
complex.
I'm bringing a reason why you're making fun of me. And then
Okay.
then she corrected me in my post where I really thought it was Keystone was actually
It was miserable.
I really thought it was I really thought it was
I've never
Keystone.
been to Keystone. They only ran for 1 year and then they just like died.
2 years.
Oh, the
2 years.
Keystone Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
Oh yeah,
years.
I got a Keystone Comic Con shirt.
You were there?
I was.
I think they're officially dead and it makes me sad because I wanted to go because they haven't updated their Instagram or socials or anything since like pre-pandemic.
COVID. And
Hmm.
now we have Fan Expo, which is pretty much the Wizard World, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they bought Wizard World. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it might be better. Because I know Wizard World wasn't on the right track as of lately. But yeah, guys, like I said, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this, and hopefully I will see you next month when we talk about Black Panther. And yeah, we'll see you guys hopefully next month. And you guys stay safe. You guys have a good weekend, and hopefully the Eagles beat the Cowboys on Sunday. Fuck the
Amen to that.
Cowboys. Yeah. Guys, have a good night.